boy, the Sixth Psycho Surgeon, the operator, back here on the MBK channel for another thing of Real Talk, part 2 of our previous one that you've seen. I'm sorry, I get so confused with how many episodes there are. I have to go back later and count them and label them. Because we actually record a lot in one setting, and then I edit the videos later. Okay, so we're back here with the Reaper, and our previous discussion was how video games can be beneficial. Now we're going to add on to that a little bit, and then we're going to talk about how they can be unbeneficial to you, and they can actually harm you, and why parents shouldn't let the video games parent the kids. So Reaper's going to start this one off. Go ahead, Reaper.
You start this one off because I'm trying to figure out points. I can't seem to find one.
Okay, one thing we talked about was how it can be beneficial to your reaction, your sight in a speaking. It can be beneficial arithmetic-wise, history-wise. That's something we actually did not cover. Now thinking about it, history-wise.
Yeah, it will be beneficial, especially Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed's got some good history behind them.
You know, it can be very beneficial to you in many different ways. Now, I just have a couple of points, and Reaper's going to talk about a couple of points, and then we're going to get into it. We're not going to be long-winded on this one. We're just going to make these points quick and easy. Okay,
yeah, probably about 6-minute video.
Right. So what it is that we are going. I mean, that history can be very beneficial in video games to kids as well. You ever sit a kid down with a history book? Here's one that's really great that I actually got intrigued through video games: The Art of War by Sun Tzu. The Art of War is a book based on every strategy there is to war. Now, you may be thinking, hey, why would I want my kid to read that? The Art of War actually tells ancient tales of feudal Japan, Asia, and the whole Mandarin country. Okay? Mandarin being, you know, the people as a whole. The whole Asian demographic. It covers so many stories from so many different places. Tactics. It has, you know, as we said before, I call them big words, like I'm 5. It has a lot of big words in there that they're going to have to learn how to pronounce and how to speak, shut up, and how to properly enunciate. And, you know, it is great. Medieval games are great for this. Assassin's Creed, in particular, is very good for this. Assassin's Creed covers a lot of Europe.
But just a fair warning, it will mislead the history a bit.
Right. I mean, there's no known evidence of anybody named Ezio Auditore from Italy that's going around cutting people's throat with wrist blades. Yeah. There's no evidence of that. But it covers Leonardo da Vinci, Vespucci Gavapo, what's his damn name? The Borgias from Rome, or the Sicilians, the Borgias. They were a real family, and they were in Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. They were a real family. The newer Assassin's Creed cover France, Italy, England. Assassin's Creed 3 covers American history. Granted, like you said, some of it is not misleading to attention, but it's, you know, putting their own twist on things. But it covers George Washington, the whole history behind it.
The DLC.
Yeah, don't do that. Anyway,
George Washington's not a bad guy.
Right. Well, actually, the fact of the matter is that that a lot of people don't know, George Washington was actually English royalty. He was a duke, if I remember correctly. When he came over here, he joined up with the people. He saw this to be a great country, but he was, you know, saddened by the way it was being treated by the English, so he revolted against them. That DLC is actually a flip around of what could have been if he did not, if he stayed over there and he stayed as royalty and assaulted America. That's what that DLC is about, but it can be very beneficial history-wise. And my second point to that is one thing that it can be very beneficial-wise too is it can be very beneficial-wise, you know, vocabulary and speech-wise. Believe me, there are a lot of nerds that play games. We all know that. There's nothing wrong with being a nerd, but there are also a lot of grammar Nazis. Not Nazis, Nazis. Grammar Nazis. There are a lot of grammar Nazis. They will correct your ass if you mistype something, or if you improperly enunciate a word. They will correct your ass with a quickness. Okay, and I know that may not seem like a very good point. Oh, well, you can find these people everywhere, but for kids that are in these lobbies, you know, it's that's one thing that they will do. And you know, that's just a few different points, as it helps also with grammar as well. You know. Anyway, Reaper, go ahead.
What?
Go ahead.
It does help with the grammar as well. I mean, Assassin's Creed especially. But I feel like that's all we have to talk about the beneficial stuff. I'm not really for sure what to say about the unbeneficial stuff. I'm really not. I mean, gaming, it can hurt your fucking eyes. I mean, I'll take a picture. I'm nearsighted now, and I definitely don't have 20/20 vision at all.
Right.
Probably
Yeah,
like 15/20 or something.
Yeah, going back to the whole thing about it can be beneficial, note that in the video I did explain how it can be beneficial as far as, you know, focusing, allowing your eyes to focus in and out. There are some key elements, though. You can't play for 9 hours a day, 9 hours a day, and you cannot play on a bright screen in a dark room.
Oops.
That is very damaging.
Oops.
Yeah, ha ha ha.
Oops.
That can be very damaging to your eyes. That can be very, very damaging to your eyes. But going into that, we're going to talk about now how it can be very unbeneficial. Unbeneficial.
I actually found a fact.
Okay, go ahead.
Unbeneficial. I mean, if you got these crazy motherfuckers that are already violent, I don't suggest to get your kid GTA 5 so they can go around and kill more people and think people are gonna fucking respawn in real life.
Right.
That's just being stupid.
Right.
But for kids that are just calm and know it's a goddamn video game and know, hey, you can't do this shit in real life. I mean, that's perfectly fine. But yeah, sometimes I do blame these kids that play video games that are already outraged and they already got anger like hell in their system, but they play the video games that are violent anyway. I suggest everybody rated E video game for them. I don't suggest rated M when they're 12. I mean, that's what I played, but I wasn't a violent or angry kid, and I didn't want to go just shoot up the block like Snoop Dogg did in GTA San Andreas.
Right. In my opinion on that is, you know, he's right though, and we're not saying that because you let your kid play at 12 years old and M for mature game that you're a bad parent whatsoever. Matter of fact, most of the time people don't. You should know your kid. I'm not talking about these parents like we said before that allow the game to raise their kid. You should know your kid. But some things you just don't know. Mental illness, I'm a big believer that I do believe video games in a sense can cause violent behavior. I believe it causes violent behavior and already, as he said, violent people and mentally unstable people.
The wrong way.
Exactly, and mentally unstable people. If you already have mental instabilities, you are already, fighting mental, fighting like, well, there you go, mental instabilities. If you're already fighting that type of thing, games like that are very graphic are not good for you whatsoever. They are not good for your mind. Right. They are not good for you. And parents, if you notice that your kid is strangling cats or cutting off doll heads and hanging them in your attic, okay, he does not need to play Manhunt or Grand Theft Auto.
The next Michael Myers.
Yeah, he does not need to play that because that is just going to... When your kid, if you bought your kid GTA, okay, let's say GTA, for example, because you can kill a lot of civilians in GTA. If you bought your kid GTA and he is walking, not running, not trying to steal from people, not trying to loot this house or do the missions, the whole game just walking around with a knife, slowly fucking walking. I say it again, this game, 90% of people sprint, but this person is walking, stalking people. Your kid says, "Look, mommy, look what I can do," and just starts cutting up an old lady. It is probably a good idea to take it away from him and let him play Toy Story.
Or if they enjoyed the MW2 segment, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2,
no Russian.
They said no Russians and started blasting everybody. That was a civilian. You kick them the fuck out. I don't care if they're 12.
Right, I mean, they don't need, but in all reality, they don't. They really, all joking aside, they don't need to play stuff like that. And, I mean, I studied psychology for 2 years, okay? I don't have a college degree or anything. This was out of curiosity. I was really big into psychology. I loved the thought of it. I was very interested and intrigued by it. Once again, by playing a game. Anyway, I can't remember what game it was, though, but it got me very intrigued at a young age of psychology. And I studied psychology for 2 years straight. I had textbooks. I looked on the internet for it a lot and, studied methods. I can tell a mentally unstable person very easy. If you can tell, these are 3 things. If your child displays outrages, outbursts, that may be just a bad temper, just a quick temper. It may be. But if your child, 3 things is if your child already has very violent outburst of rage just over nothing, the smallest thing, that is a bad sign. If your child acts very calm in the presence of something which most would consider disturbing, and I don't mean a little kid. Little kids typically do not understand what's going on. I'm going off of the age range of 10 to, let's say, 15. 10 to 15.
Yeah, that sounds like a good range, yeah.
Right. if your kid is watching, if you got caught in the parking lot, you see somebody mugging somebody, and they shoot and kill them, and your kid is just sitting there watching it, has no nightmares from it, has no bad dreams, doesn't talk about it, isn't in some fashion, which is horrible to say, but he should be mentally scarred. If he is not, and that did not bother him, that is a very bad sign. Also, if your child does not react to situations of, let's say, death, like this is a very life-threatening situation, or in a real-life situation, somebody, a relative, hopefully this does not happen to you, but let's say a relative is dying, and, knock on wood, say a relative is dying. Your child knows this, he understands the concepts of death, but he does not care. He doesn't care if this person dies. It wouldn't matter to him which way or another. Stay alive, I don't give a fuck. Die, I don't give a fuck. That is actually a very bad sign. That could mean that the child is very mentally unstable and doesn't look at death as a, pretty much a bad thing, or he may not, like I said, little kids, they don't understand that when a person is gone, they're gone. But this child who understands this, and not only that, some kids encourage it. Some kids, if your 12-year-old ever comes to you and says, "Mommy, Grandpa," hopefully once again this has not happened to you, and if it has, I'm sorry, but I feel very sorry for you, but "Mommy, Grandpa's in pain, we should let him go and pull the plug." That kid does not need to play Grand Theft Auto or any other games that encourage violence, okay? He does not need to.
No
and
shit.
You probably need to get him on Ritalin. Right, it's just, there's those three factors. I know I didn't properly state them, but once again, I'm not trying to go over here and give you a lecture about what you need to do with your kids. Everybody raises their kids different. I'm just stating some facts, that's all I'm stating, okay? I'm not going to go, we have time limit, obviously, so I'm not going to go into the full detail, or that could have been a hell of a lot longer, of, symptoms and stuff like that, of mental instabilities and, mental issues, but that's just from my opinion. Reaper, you got anything?
Yeah, I'm going to add one more thing before we go. Just to add one more thing, we have been working our asses off making these, these videos for you guys, and I mean, I love it that you guys are subscribing to my best friend's channel. That's amazing. Keep on subbing, because we put out, like, what, Jesse?
2 videos a day.
Like 2 videos a day, but we record 4 videos a day, but 2 videos a day, just to give you, we don't want to give you everything at once.
Right, I mean, nobody likes to wait for their content, but we can't put everything out at once.
Yeah, like this guy named I got a spot for one guy. This guy named Blasphemous HD TV. Go check his channel out.
Right, I'll put a link in the description.
Dedicated like a motherfucker to his channel.
He puts out about 5-6 videos a day.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really amazing.
Videos, but they're all funny as fuck.
Oh well, no, not just that channel. He also posts on Blasphemous HD Gaming. I think 2 videos a day.
Gaming.
Same day, all total about 7 to 8 videos a day.
Yeah, he works his ass off, basically, to get those videos out. And we're trying to work our ass off. We're newcomers. You gotta give us time. But that's all I gotta say. Later, guys. Back to you, operator.
Well, yeah, I mean, I really appreciate that. And I appreciate you guys who have subbed and who have stayed subbed. We were up to 86 subscribers 2 weeks ago. I actually had, when I started posting montages a lot, I actually, unfortunately, had we're down to like 5 subscribers. I actually had a lot of people unsubscribe and got some tweets and unfollows from people that stated, "We didn't know you play Call of Duty. We thought you were going to be, like Markiplier or Jacksepticeye or, something like that." I don't have a PC. I will be getting a PC. That's, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to be nice about it. That's pretty fuck shit that you would unsubscribe just because I play Call of Duty. That's pretty fuck shit, guys, okay?
Yeah,
not talking to those who have stayed, but any of you that still, regularly, "Oh, let me just see what he's doing," and click on my videos or whatever. That's pretty fuck shit if you're watching this, okay? That really is. That's wrong. But you could at least tell me, "Hey, I want to see some more of this." And like I said, comment. I want to hear your opinions. I want to see them. And anyway, and also, because I don't have a face cam right now or anything like that, I can't do reaction videos. But if you send me a link to a video that you think is very controversial or something like that you want me to watch, I will give my opinion on the video. It may not be the long video, may only be a 2-3 minute video, but there you go.
And I will watch it too, and we will both comment on the video.
Right. Anyway, guys.
Reaction series.
Right. All right, guys. Well, remember, like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal. You know how it goes with every video. Anyway, I be the operator, the 6th Psycho Surgeon. That right there is the master of disaster himself, the Reaper. and we be out. Peace.